How's it going, everyone? Today we are going to be making a pizza dough recipe. This recipe only calls for 4 ingredients. It's super simple, but it's definitely a recipe where it's perfect to do it early in the morning, let's say like 9, 10 o'clock, and then your dough will be ready by 5, 6 o'clock for you to roll it out. If you're an early bird, perfect, do it earlier. This is also something that you could do at night and then leave it overnight. And then it'll essentially be ready for when you wake up. And then you can have it in the fridge and, divide it and portion it out and have it in the fridge. And then, right before you're ready to actually roll it out and make your pizza dough, pull it out about 30 minutes prior, and it'll be perfect. So, this recipe it's just flour, water, salt, and yeast, and that is all. So, I have this recipe in a gram fashion, so it is by weight. Weight is going to give you a more accurate number, because it doesn't matter how tightly packed it is or loosely packed it is, the weight is still going to be the same throughout. This recipe, you could do it by volume being a cup measurement, a teaspoon measurement, etc. But it doesn't factor in for if the flour is sifted through or packed in, etc. So, but I will give you both measurements. So it's 500 grams of flour or 4 cups of flour, 350 grams of water or 1.5 cups of water, and that is 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The warmth of the water is what's going to make that your yeast activate. Without that, you're not going to get the same activation, and you're not going to have the same rise from the yeast. Then your salt is going to be 10 grams of salt or 2 teaspoons, and your yeast is going to be 1 gram or 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. I have this scale. This gets me 2 decimal places after. So, for instance, it'd be like 1.00 grams. So it gives me a little bit more accurate weight. You don't need a scale of this to give you that many decimal places after, but if you have it, it's good for smaller items, not the large ones. So, I already have my flour measured out. This is 500 grams. It is whole wheat flour and all-purpose flour. I just have the whole wheat that I'm trying to use up, so that's why I'm using it. Typically, it would just be straight whole wheat flour, so don't worry about that. My water, I already have it measured out, and it's already heated up. It's just warm to the touch. Essentially, turn on your faucet and put your finger under it, and once it starts to get to that temperature where it's warm, that's where you want it. You don't have to really use a thermometer and get the exact on it. I have my salt. I have to weigh this out still, and then my yeast I'm weighing out as well. So, let me show you what I have working here. So I already have this. I'm going to use this little container, perfect for my yeast. I'm going to make sure my scale is at 0 when I do this. And I'm literally just going to tap in until I get to 1 gram. There it is. So because this is such a small amount, that's why a little scale like this would be perfect. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some of this water right into my yeast. I don't want to add the whole thing. Just about 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons is perfect. I'm then just going to kind of put a lid on it. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake, shake, shake. And and that is going to help activate my yeast, clean up a little bit of mess that I made, and I'll kind of like scrape it and wash it out when I pour it in later. So then I want to tear this back off to 0, and now I'm going to add my 10 grams of salt, so I want to make sure we're back at 0. Different little container, but it's perfect for this, and I'm just going to add until we get to 10. This you can be a little bit quicker with, just because the number is slightly bigger. So here we are with that. So now I don't need this. I can get rid of this bad boy. Here's my bowl. And quickly as this, I'm just adding my flour right into here. Make sure we get it all. That's very important to make sure because it's all weighed out. So this is essentially baking, so you want to try to be as accurate as possible with this. And then I'm literally going to add the water right into this, the rest of the water. And then I'm just going to take one hand in here and I'm just going to mix. And you want to make sure you get everything from on the bottom, on the walls, etc. It doesn't have to be really, really incorporated. It's not going to turn into a dough here, just because the flour needs time to hydrate and to kind of soak up all of that water that we have in there. So it is going to be a little bit still dry, flaky, and you're just trying to do your best to incorporate all the flour as best as possible into this. And then we're going to let this sit for about 30 minutes, and it'll give the flour more time to naturally hydrate with the water. And then after that time, we will then add our salt, our little yeast mixture that's naturally incorporating now, and we'll mix it a few more times once we do that, and then we will wait the 5 hours, 5-6 hours for it to come and proof and really come up to what we want to get at. And it's going to double in size, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so this is after about 35 minutes. It's already rested. The dough is still kind of broken up, and you can still see some dry spots around here and right around here. But now we're going to add in our salt. We're just going to sprinkle it right over the top like this. Make sure we get everything in there. And then this is our yeast and water mixture. So I just want to make sure I get all of my liquid into here. I am going to take off a little bit of this, of the dough, and I'll show you why in 2 seconds. So I'm going to pour this in here. I'm going to try to get everything in. I'm going to take this dough, I'm going to move it in here, and really try to get the rest of this yeast and the rest of this water in here. So just like that. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is actually just wet my hand, and this is going to help it so everything doesn't stick to my hand. And I'm going to start to move this around. So I'm just going to I just lightly wet my hand. I didn't really give it too much, and just gave it like a few shakes to get some excess water off. This is going to help so things don't stick on my hand. And so here I'm just kind of rotating and folding, and I'm doing this just to incorporate the yeast and to incorporate the salt. And everything is really starting to come together here. We have more of what looks like an actual dough ball versus it being dry and flaky, and that's what I showed you originally. And this isn't too wet at all. It's just enough so everything's going to come together. I do have my bench scraper that I want to have here, my bench scraper, and I just want to scrape everything around my bowl and around the sides of it, and I'm just going to incorporate that in here so we don't lose any of that. So now that I have this here like this, it looks much more like a dough ball. I'm actually going to do this pinching technique, so I'm going to take these two fingers and I'm just going to pinch them and kind of squeeze all the way through, just like this, and I'm breaking up the gluten, and I'm causing my dough to kind of come together, break them up, and just to kind of help to incorporate some air, more air pockets into there. So now I'm literally just going to cover this, and then I'm going to wait about 5 to 6 hours before we have more of what looks like a real aerated dough. This is my dough after 2-3 hours. So we're halfway there. Some of the condensation has come up onto the walls, so just kind of work that a little bit. I'm just going to fold this one time. I'm just going to wet my hand again, lightly wet it, and I just want to come under, and you're just going to gently pull up the dough, everything from the bottom, etc. And I'm just going to do one tri-fold. So I fold one half, tri meaning the word 3, and I fold the other like this. So I fold one side, then I fold the other side, and I'm just going to do that pinching technique one time. Okay. And then I'm just going to leave it back in the bowl. And then about another 2-3 hours, we'll pull it out and see what it looks like. Okay, so our dough has been resting for just over 5 hours. This is our dough. This is the bottom of our dough, so you can see all those little air pockets all around here. So it's really starting to grow here. It's probably doubled in size, roughly. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to flour my workstation here. Just using a little handful of flour, not a whole lot. And then we're going to shape our dough. We'll divide and then shape our dough. So I want this to like gently come out. I don't want to really like pull this out too much with force. I want it to like slowly kind of come out. So I'll also use my little scraper here just to kind of like get it started. I'm just kind of just like pulling away from the walls. And I want it to just gently come out on its own. Just like that. There we go. Almost. Alright. I'm going to come in here and just try to scrape this a little better, just to get the rest of it. There we go. Okay. Dough is very sticky. I'm just going to kind of hit this over the top here. Okay. I'm also going to hit my scraper. So I want to divide this in half, like this. And I want to make this into a dough ball, but I don't want to release too much of the gas in here, so I'm not really going to work it too much. I just want to tuck everything under, like this. I just want to tuck it under, and then just let it sit. So same thing with here. I'm just pulling everything under. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to scrape all this flour because I want to save this flour. I'm going to use this flour for the bottom of our sheet pan. So I have the sheet pan right here. I'm just going to lightly just kind of move this around just to coat the bottom of this pan. Really just giving it a good tap. So this way it's coated nice. And I'm just going to put the dough, a good amount of space in between. Some of the flour on the bottom, and then I'm just going to come over this, and this plastic wrap isn't as wide, so you can't really just use one strip, so I'll use 2 strips of plastic to put over this. Like so, and I'm just going to leave the plastic over the top of it. The top of these pizza dough already has a little bit of flour over the top, so it's not going to stick on the plastic here. The bottom is nicely floured on the sheet pan, so I'm going to let this sit out for roughly about 30 minutes, and then we'll be able to finally roll them out, sauce it, and then add our toppings, and then it's going to